Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, is in favor of Hollywood stars sharing their political opinions. And she shared these thoughts at the Glamour Women of the Year event, where she was one of many stars and influencers honored with this award. She gave her acceptance speech and mentioned that basically stars should feel free to share their political opinions, mainly because we care about their political opinions.
Yeah.
She thinks that the media is so obsessed with circulating stars' political opinions that there's no reason for them to refrain from sharing them. So here was her speech. I just want to preface again, she has such theater kid energy. I know she's reading from a teleprompter, but she does it in this very unique way where she can never turn off the performance mode.
Yeah.
She delivered this speech as if it were slam poetry.
Okay, here we go.
There are times when it feels a bit impossible, doesn't it? To exist in a world where it feels like we can't be louder than a whisper without it making headlines. There's something beautiful and terrifying about how much the world seems to care about our opinions while simultaneously telling us to stick to our arts, our creativity. But has an art always been opinionated? Hasn't it always held perspective, experience? Wasn't it always meant to be this way, to shift the worldview? I'm so thankful to Glamour for this honor, as I never thought I'd be considered the women of anything except maybe on the verge of a nervous breakdown. So here's to all. Thank you so much.
That was so quirky. That part was so quirky at the end there, right? Oh my gosh, I'm like so anxious all the time, even though I'm on camera for a living.
I mean, she's like, the only thing she missed out on there was an opportunity to name drop her therapist.
And this doubles down on an earlier comment that she gave in her Helen Mirren interview with Glamour for the award. She said in that interview about the same subject, I think there's this idea that we as public figures can't have thoughts or feelings because we're like paper dolls to the majority of the public. And she's trying to push back on that narrative that celebrities shouldn't speak out about politics.
I have set a rule in stone for myself. I decree this upon all of Hollywood. You are allowed to share your political opinions at all times, unless you are promoting a movie that costs more than $100 million. If you are promoting a movie that costs more than $100 million, you should shut up until the movie comes out and you've made all the box office money you could. Right now, Scream 7 actually is doing pretty well as far as their views for the trailer and stuff like that because of the return of Neve Campbell. But they've got all the controversy around what Melissa Barrera said in 2023, which means they were fighting against her political opinions back then. I don't think that firing was just. I think that they should have just waited it out. I think that was stupid. And you've got Matthew Lillard, who's going to be in that movie. I don't think that's a spoiler alert. It's been announced. And he's talking, you know, F ICE. I do this every time to show how stupid they sound. F ICE. And I know that, and I think he's also with Five Nights at Freddy's coming up as well. So they've got all this stuff coming out. I don't think it's going to affect the box office for them because I don't think that their opinions are the ones people want to argue about these days. I think Rachel Zegler is a unique case. I think if Matthew Lillard had all the exact same opinions as Rachel Zegler, it wouldn't matter because she's more of a star than he is right now.
Wait, so you said Matthew Lillard is on Scream 7?
And yes, and
okay, so this is just a double standard within Hollywood. The general public just feels fatigued with hearing celebrities' political opinions.
Yes.
That's it. But within Hollywood, there's a double standard of how that's enforced. Melissa Barrera was fired essentially because the brass in Hollywood is mostly made up of Zionists, and they wouldn't have fired her for saying something like the comment that Matthew Lillard had.
Correct.
About, like,
they would not.
Okay, they would not have fired her if she made some other statement about politics. It was purely because she was talking about Palestine. And I think something similar happened with the coverage of the Snow White box office, where they blamed it on Rachel Zegler saying Free Palestine. The issue was so much broader than that, and also mainly to do with what she said about the original Snow White. And it was just a weird rhetorical trick that they pulled after the fact to say, I guess people who would have otherwise seen Snow White in theaters decided not to because Rachel Zegler's like anti-Israel. Like, that's obviously just made up out of thin air.
Hello Darkness on the Rumble chat says Lillard died in Scream 1. Yes, I'm interested to know how he makes his appearance in the movie, because I don't know how. If you guys are my age, you understand how big and heavy a TV was. He had a huge tube TV dropped on his head in that movie. So, look, but the thing is, his opinion matters less because he's not as famous as she is right now.
That's also true. I'm also going to mention, she thanked the dolls at the end of this speech.
Yeah.
As being part of the reason why she's on this stage. She said, I'm here by the deep love of my mother and my biological sister, Jacqueline. She mentioned biological because the theme of the night was sisterhood. The guidance of the women who've come before me, the dolls, and the inspiration to leave this world better for the next generation. And I also saw that Glamour does this thing where they have their Women of the Year talk about their girlhood firsts. Like, when was the first time that you felt beautiful? When was the first time that you made a mistake with your, hair or your makeup or something like that? But the other girlhood firsts are your first moment of standing up for yourself and your first act of feminism. So I want to show that from Rachel Zegler and her girlhood first.
So from 135?
Experiences where I felt truly beautiful as a kid. I remember one of my classmates, shout out Marcos, wherever you are, when I was in the first grade.
I'm Team Marcos.
And I remember going to my teacher, Mrs. Conti, and just telling her what was what, and really being proud of myself. I was in high school when I did West Side Story for the first time at a local theater over the summer, and the creative directors were very comfortable talking about the young girls' bodies. And I remember standing up for my friends a lot when they made comments about people's weight or the way people looked in their costumes. It's unfortunately like a very common thing in the dance community, in the fashion world, and in theater. And nobody needs that kind of mentality when they're that young. I mean, I do have to go West Side Story again, because it really was such a monumental moment for me seeing that film as a child. It instilled my love for song and dance, and then it also was one of those moments of representation with Rita Moreno again, of course, and that made me want to do what she was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her first moment standing up for herself was telling on the boy in class who hit her in the face.
That's so not a flex.
We don't know his side of the story.
Yeah, like,
I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, like, we don't know.
We don't know Marcos' side of the story.
Handle your business.
And also in this speech, she was calling out all these examples of, strong women in film that inspired her. And she mentioned Charlie's Angels and how it was full of, like, she just loved watching Lucy Liu beat up dudes and, like, say no all the time, and how that's really, really, like, feminist.
Completely ignoring that the movie was fun.
Yeah.
Which is something they haven't been able to master in 2 decades. Like, they always forget that part. Like, add the fun. Feels like a chef on TV. What's the secret ingredient? Fun.
That's the secret ingredient that they were missing in the 2019 Charlie's Angels.
And to my point earlier, what I was saying is that for movies over $100 million, you should take away their social media. They should have no social media until the movie comes out, so you can recoup your investment, or you make them financially liable for any bad press that they get on posts that they make on their private accounts.
Is that the compromise that we can all settle for?
No, I mean, like, I don't know. Look, I don't even know how you would write up a contract. I was half kidding about the second part of that.
You can absolutely put them under strict guidelines like that. You can, but
I'm saying I don't know how you enforce that contract with, like, what counts as hurtful to the program. Like, would it have to be, like, what if you just promote your movie but badly? Like, people are mad right now at Ariana Grande because she couldn't make it to the Wicked premiere in Brazil, and it wasn't even her fault.
Right.
They're like mad at her.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Why are they mad at her?
They're like, well, I mean,
the Brazilians are really crazy about celebrities, aren't they?
When you court, crazy fans, that's what you get.
Uh-huh. Well, no, I mean, I think you could definitely penalize her for attaching political statements to the Snow White trailer.
Yeah. I mean, but they're like, look, then it's on a movie by movie basis, because I don't buy that putting your political opinions on the ahead of the Wicked trailer is going to do any damage, because it's all theater kids and they're going to agree with everything you're saying anyways. Then it would have to be unequally enforced based on if you have two co-stars that have differing opinions.
Well, yeah, I think maybe your idea is you can share your political opinions when you're not on the press tour.
Bro, you've got like 300 days out of the year you can say stupid and inane shit on the internet. Can you just
But they're on press tours all the time. That's the only reason they do press.
I know, it's my secret plan to get them to shut the hell up all the time.
Otherwise, I guess it's like if they're posting on Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, like I just can't.
If they're not in an interview. But the only reason they do interviews is for projects.
And
unless
look,
you're Emma Watson, then you're just doing it for the hell of it.
And then they're working against the journalists who are like, I'm not here to help you. I'm here to get you to say stupid shit in quotes so we can put it up on the Variety X page.
The craziest thing about that recent Emma Watson interview is that they were like, so what do you got in the works? Like, what's going on? Are you
like,
doing this interview for any particular reason? And she was like, something's happening. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't really care.
Like, maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't.
Most jobless actress ever. So yeah, that's just Rachel Zegler being Rachel Zegler. Not surprising.
See, the thing is with Rachel Zegler, she has the ability to turn it around. She has the ability to do one thing. She could just go the Zendaya route. Just kind of keep it to yourself.
Well, look,
I'm not.
They gave her this award because she was cyberbullied. That's the only reason why she was named a Woman of the Year. She was Woman of the Year because she got cyberbullied. That's all that happened. So she benefits from it.
Yes.
In a way.
She's like, look, I may not get all
There
the
are
movie
pros and
roles.
cons of both sides.
Maybe what it is she's hungry all the time, so she wants to be invited to all of these dinners so that she can get a free meal. I don't blame her. Like, I'm going to start spouting feminist bullshit if it'll get me a free dinner every weekend.
They don't be paying these actresses enough to get DoorDash.
Like, if all I have to say is like, we need to close the gender wage gap and big is beautiful and all these other things, I'll say it if it means I can get free dinner.
Love Science is real. Where are the hors d'oeuvres?
And we need to like reshape Hollywood in the image of women because women are, the divine feminine and something bullshit. Where is the drinks?
Yeah.
Like, is it an open bar?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sign me up for that.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.